Shwmai Bethany. As I film this, it is Sunday afternoon, which of course we all know is a time for cleaning, tidying, and basically putting everything right. And so it is with great sadness that I must inform you that it is time for me to peg back my beard. It's now tomorrow, and I've been thinking. Whilst I was shaving, I set the number on my razor to 4. And that's not really of any significance, or significance even. But the idea of setting that device to 3 seems insane to me. It just seems wrong. And this made me think of the overwhelming prejudice that I've got against odd numbers. Like when I'm in the car and I'm listening to the radio or when I'm watching the TV, I will never set the volume to an odd number. It just feels wrong. Although it can be a 5 or a multiple of 5, because for some reason they get a special exemption. As I was thinking about this, I felt that I discovered the secret hidden trait of humanity, and that we all shared this, so I decided to look it up on the internet to see if I was the genius who had found this special secret shade trait. And perhaps that would lead to world peace. So I looked it up. The answer is no. It is not the secret shade trait. What I did find was that people did feel the same way, even insofar as to give special diplomatic immunity to 5 in increments of 5, even though they're odd numbers. But it's not universal, and some people prefer odd numbers, which, I mean, okay, I guess, but no, that's not okay. And what I found, and what I think is probably the case, is most people don't really care. Now online there was a lot of use of the phrase OCD when it came to this, and I don't think that's what it is with me, because an OCD is a very serious thing that causes you actual trouble and disrupts your life and causes you pain. It doesn't cause me pain, it just seems wrong to do it. So I was trying to think of where this may have come from, and I remember that in maths lessons I developed a real hatred for a thing called mental maths. Now I'm sure you were familiar with this. This is where a teacher would call out sums and then point at various students like some kind of mathematical Russian roulette, and you just had to answer the question as quick as possible whilst the entire class was watching you. And I didn't enjoy this. There was the anxiety of the anticipation of being asked a question, the anxiety of there being a time limit on answering it, and the anxiety of everyone watching you. It's not a fun thing to do. I always found it a little bit more difficult to do multiplication or division where there's odd numbers in there, so maybe as a part of this amplified that, and maybe that's where my hatred of odd numbers came from. Who knows? Interestingly though, there seems to be a cultural aspect to it, with Asian countries in particular favouring odd numbers rather than even. I read that in China some hotels leave the number 4 out of their floor numbers because in certain dialects of Chinese the number 4 sounds the same as the word for death, and so they leave it out in the same way as some Western hotels would leave out the number 13 because it's got bad connotations. Japan also apparently prefers odd numbers, and if you are gifting people, you are meant to give gifts in increments of odd numbers rather than even, and various holidays fall specifically on odd number days rather than even, where apparently we tend to favour evens. I didn't do a huge amount of research into this, so don't take any of this as gospel. These are all little interesting tidbits that you can perhaps file away in some part of your brain and then actually look into at some point in the future when we've got more time. Although I did read this article, which I'll link to in the description, and is, interestingly enough, 11 pages long. What can we read into this? Nothing probably. So what about you, Bethany? Do you favour odd numbers? Do you favour even numbers? Do you not care? Anyway, in either way. It's not a problem. Do you just not care? Do you just not care? Do you just not care? Do you have a favourite number? I quite like the numbers 8 and 14. I don't know why. Farewell. I'll go to work now.
Gilder, Kyoudai.